So good evening, everyone. Today is our second session, and we are going to learn a lot of new things. We'll be learning how to make the 3D objects that would be like attached to our face, and they will be rotating, something like that. We'll be seeing how emitter works and how deformation, how the light effects, and all these effects are made. So let's start from the emitter itself. We'll be creating a blank project first, and then we'll be adding the particle system or emitter into it. Just wait, let it get open. So as I said that all these emitter particles, we are usually adding to our project file because we want to make the effect more realistic, like how rain effect is made, how snow effects is made, how we want to see if there's some birthday filter. So all about confetti, balloons are, just going up, and then clouds are just having some animation where they are moving right, left, or something like that. Or there could be something like we want to make an effect where a game, especially AR, where there's something like you have to choose a color, and then there would be some arrow, or like how we play bow and arrow. So there could be different shapes, and you just have to make an effect like that. So all these effects are basically made from emitter. So how we are going to add the emitter is, first you have to click on add object, and then you will see at last there is particle system. So these particle system are basically a 2D objects that we add into a project. So let me add the particle system. Yeah. So you could see that by default, the particles are coming towards the camera, and its emitter type is point with space as world. So we are going to perform three basic things. First, we'll be seeing how particles are added into it, then how we are going to add the material towards it, and how we can edit these particles to make the effect more smooth and more uh, realistic. So you can even apply the physics to the particles, like changing the force or drag by accelerating all these particles. You will see how these particles are streamed in the middle viewport also. Like you can see here, I am just dragging the mouse so that it could be quite visible to you all. You can set it according to your wish. So the next thing is, as I said, that the emitter type is pointer. So you can see how the particles gets emitted when they have the type as line, or when they have a type as plane, etc. So in plane, what happens is these particles get some 3D effect. So it could look a bit more natural to it. And if we added the particle system, the best way you can do is by experimenting. What happened to it again? It got hanged. God, what's happening today? Oh, till then it gets okay, it's fine now. So you can see in line how these particles are emitting, how in plane these particles get emitted, and how in ring these particles get emitted. So as I said that the by default it is point, where the particles move outward from a single point. So right now let me keep it as point. So let's add first material. So you could see that below shape there is a material. How we used to add a material in rectangle or in plane, that's how we are going to add here. Just click it here. By default, you could see in assets, a new folder materials have been made. Inside it, there is a subfolder known as material 0. You could rename it as just like hearts or something. You could even rename the emitter instead of having, because if we make a big project, then it becomes difficult for us also to differentiate. So that's how you can just differentiate it. So once we add a material into it, the by default shader type is standard. We'll make it as flat because the flat material will have a lack of realistic light and depth, and I think for us this would be going good. So let's add a texture to it, and let's see how these particles get affected up with the physics or something, but we are going to add it. So let's add some texture. So before adding the texture, I want to tell you that like you should find an image with a transparent background, because if you will find an image with something like a white background or it, so it won't even look like that of that shape. For example, if we go with hearts also, so that background should be transparent or in the form of PNG, not any other formats. So, Abhi, let's add something. Okay, let's add heart only. Um, let's see if I have a plain. Okay, let's add this one. So, as you have seen that as soon as I add a texture, the hearts will appear. Now, the size is quite small. You can just again go to the particle system and arrange it. So as I said that there are basically three things which you could see here in the transformation, that is position, scale and rotation, and you can arrange it according to your wish. So like if I make it a little center towards the nose, then it would be somewhere here, and you can even rotate it. For example, if you want it downwards, so it will go with -180. I have not learned any parameters here. Just if you just experiment all these things, you will be used to all these things. So let me make it 0 as of now, and let me change the size to 0.4, and birth rate. Okay, so as I said that birth rate is like how we are going to control the number of particles that are getting emitted. So in the birth rate, there are two blocks you can see. The first one is for the numbers, like the number of values which you are going to give. Like 40, I have given here. You could give 100 or 200. So this is all according to your wish, you can give it. And the next one is percentage. So percentage would, let's give 30. So yeah, these all things you should take care. The next is spray angle. The spray angle is nothing but how you want that heart should like go in some angle. For example, there are x, y, z values. So if I give here 10, 10, and x value I give 40. So you could see that in the x directions, the hearts are like the angle of the hearts is now in x direction. If I again make it 0, and if I go with y, so you could see in y direction they are now spreading. And if I give in z direction, it will go in z direction. So you could clearly see the difference in this. Now, another thing I want to tell you that it's good idea to keep the lifespan. Here is the lifespan. Lifespan quite low, because it will make it more fine, and it will look like something like natural. Okay, so if I give the lifespan here 3 or 0.03, now they are emerging very slowly. See, I should make it 0 again. I forgot the spray angle. Okay, so let's make the lifespan right now to be here. I am making an effect where hearts are falling, so I'll be needing the lifespan as 3 or 4 something. And then let's keep the speed as where is it? 0.0. Let's go with 1. Let's see how it works. I think it will be quite slow if I'm not wrong. And then you can set the warm up. Now, what warm up is, you could see the warm up in below the speed. You have to first check the checkbox of warm up. Now, what this warm up is, the particle when starts before the effect loads. So you will be on screen as soon as someone opens your effect. So if you give the warm up as 5, so it is like it will start 5 seconds before the effects get loaded, to make it like visibility very instant. So since I have given the speed 0.01, you could see the particles are emerging very slowly. So let me give a speed of 0.075, and let me give a spray angle of 50 and X direction of 10. So yeah, and let me make it. Okay, so what I will be doing is I can change the position as I said. So let's immerse the heart from little downwards. So yeah, you could see now that the hearts are emerging from the bottom of the scale, or even you can make it a rotation of minus 180, so you could see the difference. So that's how you can experiment, and you could learn new things about it. If we see about how scaling is being done, so scale is basically for the size variation. Let's give it as 0.03. So see, you could see the size of the heart suddenly changed, and you can give it in the percentage also. Like, let me give 20%. Yeah, if expand is fine, spray angle is fine, and you could also spin and tilt according to the effect. So if I spin it to 20 and tilt it to again 20, see, but it won't look good now. So let me make it as 0 only, and let me change the scale 0.01. Okay, 0.02 is fine. Yeah, so this is fine for me. Now, since I said that you can even apply the physics to these particles, so you could go in the force and click on acceleration, and you could see how these particles are now accelerating. There, you can give the strength whatever you want. So as of now, we don't need in this effect, so we'll just make it uncheck only. So yeah, like this, you could create an effects where you can change the shape of the particles if you want it to go upwards. So you can just replace it and make it a new effect. For example, something like, okay, let's take this, and you can change the size in the scale again, because it is too much right now. You can just scale it 0.01. So yeah, I think this is quite cool, and it will affect this effect will make something. If you want the birth rate should be less, you could keep it as 30. If you want it, just experiment and learn so many things. You could do it in this. So this is all about emitter, and let's have some 2-3 more learnings in this, so you will also like it. So instead of giving the shape here, first let me make it invisible here, and let me add another emitter. So you can even add the 3D shape here itself. For example, you have to just add an texture to it. Just make it flat. Go to emitter again, and then you could see in the shape, you can, by default the shape is plain, so you could make it if you want something like cube, or if you want something like sphere, if you want it star, and then you can change the plane to point to plane, and then you can just experiment it, and you can even add uh, the color texture to it. So yeah, like this you can do a lot of experiments. So I have to teach you guys the gestures also. So let me start here only instead of opening another project and start. So let's make this emitter as the shape of it. Where is the shape? Okay, even you can change the radius, inner radius, depth and points according to your requirements. So let me take it as sphere and change the scalings. So what I'll be doing is, let me rotate it to 90-degree, and because I want something like if a user opens his or her mouth, then all these particles should come out. So let me make it particle first, and then we are going to uh, make it the logic behind it, like how we are going to perform. Are you guys understanding till now? Like, is there any doubt for the hard part?
No, no.
So shall I continue?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So for this we are creating, for example, something. Okay. So let's add a type. Let me keep it as point only, and it will be bold. And let me give a birth rate 500 with a percentage of 50, and spray angle 10 is fine. The speed is also fine, I think. And let's scale it as let's give lifespan as 5. Okay. And let's give it as tilt as 10, and give the radius little bit small. In the viewport you could see how it is emerging. ऐसा लग रहा है कि कोई सामने, like everything is coming in front of the camera itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you can even, like, let's give the color to something like red or anything you can give. Let me give red only. And we can give the force. Let's apply some physics here. So in the force, just click on acceleration and give the acceleration to what we should give, minus 0.05. Now control Z. I think this is minus 0.05. This is fine. And what we can do is, I think 500 is fine. Speed is also okay. Yeah. So before creating the logic for anything, you should just make it that all these things are ready before creating a logic. So let me just create 2-3 more, so that we can just make it, we can attach in the patch together itself. So our mouth open patch is also ready. And let's add another thing, that whenever a user is going to smile, then the effect should start. So before that, let's create an effect. So I'll be adding a rectangle here. Let's give it the length, full length and full width. And let's add a material. So as I have said that all these things, all the awesome things are available in the assets library. So you could easily grab from them instead of searching here and there. So let me go to patches and add something. If I could find the LUTs here. Okay, let's add a color LUT first. So let's take something little warm up. Color tone. Okay. Okay, let's take this one. We just have to import it. In view, go to show and hide patch editor. Okay, so now you have to right click on this and go to actions applied to the camera. So you could see that already the patch have been made it, and you don't have to go and search for different things. So let me make it the rectangle invisible right now. So you could see that the effect is being added to the rectangle. So this is the one way, like this is the other way by which you can just attach the LUT to it. And the first way I have already showed you guys in our first class. Okay, so this is the another. You can see that if you see carefully the patches. So this is the render pass. I'll explain you in the coming classes because this is quite large and it is very important topic to be discussed. And you can see that this is a patch. They have used color alert shader and they have added a camera texture that is coming from the screen scene render pass, and then we have the output on the screen itself. And this is basically that honey LUT which they have used. So before doing that, let's add a face tracker, and inside the face tracker let's add a face mesh. So you can add a material to it if you want. Let's make it little smooth. So okay, we can't do it because they have used a render pass. Remove render pass right now, or else we can do one thing, remove other capabilities, and let's don't use it. Now see, in order to make the particles like the gesture effects, you have to click on the face tracker, because all these gestures will be coming from face itself. So you will go to patch and click on create, and these are some of the by default like they have made a like logic. You can just directly import it. For example, a person whenever they blinks, so if you click on blink, they have already created these patches. So what we want is, for now, let's choose a last one. And what we are going to do is, whenever a user smiles, the effect should come. So this is basically directly they'll create a patch, and everything would be generated from the face tracker itself, and that too this face one, because we want that expression should be noticed from face. So whenever a user smile, uh, that we want this effect should come. So from the face itself, we'll take a patch called smile, and then let's apply if then else. Now what this patch will do is, basically if the first condition is true, then do this, else do that. So what we want key, if a user smile, then the input should go to first, else it should be 0. And what we will do is, we'll attach to the effect. Just a minute, I'll just okay. So we want this input, the output of if then else. So if a user smiles, what we want that the effect should get loaded. So we'll attach to the texture itself. And if we want that, just a minute, not texture, we want it to intensity, because intensity will go to 1, and then we'll be adding the effect. Wait. So let me integrate it. So as soon as the user is going to smile, the effect will be like displayed. So the other thing is, if you want to make it more smooth, अभी थोड़ा ऐसा लग रहा है bulb is switching on and off. So you can also make it little smooth. Let's make it smooth by just adding a patch to it. Exponential smoothing. So you can even like, if you want it, you want to make it more smooth, you could just go with it, or else you could be fine with this. So you should keep on experimenting. Like, let's see how it works. So input will be this. Yeah, and one more thing for intensity, you should see that if the intensity is 1, then it means that the effect is active, and the intensity is 0, it means the effect is not active. So you should also be taking care. Like, see, if I give the 0, intensity is not there. If I give 0.5, so the effect is less intense. So you could just make sure that it won't look much कि बहुत ज़्यादा effect add हो गया है. So yeah, this thing you should take care. And the other is what is left for this one. I can make it more small. Okay. After this, head rotation, and yeah, you can, instead of using if else, you can even use the switch. Like, just make the use of switch, and you can add it the particles to it, or we can even make it more realistic. Wait, I'll show you how it works. So we'll add the exponential smoothing, and then we'll add it to the intensity, if I'm not wrong. So I think it will be quite smooth now. Yeah, just a minute. I'll integrate and let's check it. And you can make the intensity 1000. I think this would be good. Yeah, so that's how it would be done. So this is the first part that we have completed, and let's start making it. Okay, so what we did is we just added the smile patch. So as soon as the user is going to smile, the effect will be generated. So this is the thing that we did. I think that was quite easy. You guys would have easily got it. So if anyone is having doubt, please ask. Guys, you understood the smile patch?
Yeah, ma'am.
Everyone, I need at least
Yes,
2
ma'am.
response. Understood, sure? Okay, you can even like if you don't want to add the LUT effects like this, so like how I said that you can use the fast color alert, and then you can just take the camera texture and add it. You can even do it like that. I hope you guys have remember. Shall I show it with that method also? If you guys have forgotten how to use the LUTs, guys, please. This question is for you. You have to respond. You have to give the response.
Ma'am, it's fine. You can go for that.
Next time. Okay, for the next effect, I'll show you. And yeah, one more thing is left. I was telling you about the if a user opens the mouth, then the particle should come out. So let's do it here only. What you have to do is, as you can see the face tracker, in this face tracker itself, you have to attach the mouth patch itself. So just write mouth open, and then you can just make it visible. So this is how simple it is. So let's check it. Wait. Let's try this one. Yeah, so I think that like this, you can create a lots of new effect, and it would be seen in the panel itself. So yeah, let's discuss another thing, that is, okay, mouth open and this is fine. So like this you can create so many things, like if someone is nodding his head, or someone is blinking his or her eyes, smile patches, so many different patches are available. So like this you could easily do it. So I'll be sharing this project definitely, so that you can just if you want to go through the patches, you can. I'll be saving it, and I would share in the WhatsApp group itself. Yeah, okay. Let me teach you one more thing. Like if you want to give this project file to some of your friends, okay, so how you are going to give is, you have to click on the publish, and then you will be clicking on export here. So that's how you are going to make the file shareable. Otherwise it won't, like you won't be able to give the all project, because if you will give directly, then it would the textures won't be there inside the project, it will be like a null file. So like this you can easily submit the file. So if I want to share the file, I can just go it, and in the WhatsApp I can just drag this file. So that's how you can share the file. So I'll be sharing it after the class. So let me discuss the other thing that we are going to do. Abhi, let me save it to my PC also. Or it's fine, no need. I don't need this project. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to discuss is how we are going to make the effects, like a 3D object is rotating above your head, or some stars or something. So with this, let's go with the blank project again. And since I have already, okay, just wait. I'll explain you one more thing before this. How to use these patches. So if you are making a filter, like you are adding a cap or a 3D, like a crown or something, you can just use this patch directly. I'll show you how to use this patch. Let's get open. Okay, so I'll be sharing it. Okay, so you could see that this cap is on my head, and for this you can delete this right now, and you can just go to the assets and go to 3D object, and you can add any of the cap or glasses. Okay, let's see if some cap is available here. Let's see this Mario cap. You can just import it. Once it gets imported, you have to drag this Mario cap to the face chapter. Okay. Now, since the shape of the cap is very large, you can just rescale it with this. I think it's fixed because of that it's not getting small. Yeah, its position is fixed. Let me. Okay. Let me make it. Let's give in Z direction more. And okay, Let's increase the size of it. This is fine. Yeah, so like this, you can use all the 3D assets that are available on Spark, and you could see it is now fit on my head, and I think it's looking good now. Even you can adjust the color and shape and size. Okay, so if you don't want, like if you want to change the color, you can just go to the materials and you can change the color of the cap like this. And if you want that the color should change dynamically, then you can do it through the patch I have discussed. If you guys, okay, it's not here, let me add it. Color cycle, CYCLE. It's not in 3D, it's in shaders. Okay, so you can just import this patch, as I have already discussed with you guys about this patch, that you can make it like the colors will keep on changing with some duration. So you can use this cap. Sorry, you can use this patch anytime. And if you want just the color of the cap should be changed. So let me make it first white and let's change it. Now see, you could easily see that the color of the cap is changing continuously. If you wanted to make it more smooth, then go with 10 and 0.3. You could see how smoothly now the color of the cap is changing. Yeah, so that's how you can add the cap or glasses, anything you can add. Even for this, you can add emitter if you want. Ki a person should smile and the sparkle should come out. And if you want to make something like it's raining and you have weird cap or something like that, it's all your choice. You can go through it. You just have to add the object according to it. Even you can make some changes on your face if you want. You can add a face mesh. Where is it? Okay, you can just change the material. Let me drag this above because we don't want to make it. And let's add some smooth effect. Oh, we cannot do because of the render first. Sorry. Remove the, you can make it smooth, but yeah, you can add the other things, like you can add some tattoos on face or something like that. You can add it. Wait. For example, let's add this. So like this you can create. Anyways, Halloween is coming, so you can add some ghost cap or something and make some animation there, like pumpkins or spiders are coming out, and like that you can make the effect, and I think it will look good also. So yeah, do you guys want this project or I should just discard it?
No, man. Discard.
Okay, okay, sure. So let's discuss one more thing. I have already have the file. I'll just explain it because otherwise it will take a lot of time. Before this, Let me explain you all how we can make the 3D objects and can make it. Now see, this effect, yeah, this only I was talking about. Okay, so what I have done here is, wait, let me make it not visible. So if you want to start from scratch, you have to open a new file. And you have to add a head occluder. Now, what is head occluder? The head occluder uh, is basically a 3D object that is in the shape of a head. You have to go in asset library, and in the blocks, you will find the head occluder. So you could drag down and view all. In this is the head occluder. So basically, it helps us when we are creating a filters where we want a hat or we want the glasses should be added and it should get fit to on our head. Otherwise, it will look like कि अलग से कुछ लगा रखा है and it won't look good, right? So you will import it to your project, and once it get imported, you have to add first face tracker because the head it needs the the face, your face should be uh, tracked first, so you have to just drag the head occluder on your face tracker. So now you can see in the viewport that a head is being recognized. Okay, so now you can just add the 3D objects from the assets library. Go to 3D shapes and choose, I'll go with star and import it. Done. And the other thing which we can import is, if you want, you can import sphere also. Okay, now what we want ki these stars should start rotating towards our forehead. Okay, so what we are going to do is I have added a null pointer here. Now, how to add a null pointer? You have to just add the object and just add this null pointer. It is basically an empty container that we'll be using in our project. So you have to just insert it. I have named it as I star because I was making something like the star should comes I in on a ice, and then the star should start rotating towards a forehead. So what I did is here I have just added the null pointer, and these two are basically a 3D object. So let me explain you. So first, right click on the face tracker, add object and add a null pointer, null object. So as you have added the null object, you can now add the 3D object. You just have to drag it and see it. It just appeared on your nose. And now you can just rescale it. Okay. You can just make it more towards the Z axis, and then you can go to the face tracker, and then you can just go and create a producer patch here, and then you could go and add a forehead because we want that stars or should rotate on our forehead. Then you will use the add patch. So with the help of add patch, since we are using the 3D object, so we want the vector should be vector 3. And then you can take the position of the null object. So you can see it just came on your head, and then you can just click on the star. Star is basically a 3D object. Go to actions, animate, and then you can go with spin. So you can see that started spinning on your head. And let's make the Z value to minus 0.1. Oh, it's not visible. 0, it's fine then. 0.1. Okay, this is quite good. And you can just go to null object and make it again spin. Similarly, you can add the spheres. Let me disable the star first. Let's change the material color to something. And then we can set the position also. Yeah. So for this, you need the hat occluder. So you could see it in this project. Wait, I'll show you. Oh, why I have opened again this project. Again, it got hanged. Just give me a minute. And even you can add it inside this also. Wait, I'll show you. Just make it. Just click on Add Occluder and go to Edit option. Wait, I'll show. Yeah, this one. And you can add it because it's a block. So whatever things you are going to add in the block and save it, it will appear inside our main project. Oh, again it got. Okay. So this is the head occluder block. So what's inside this block also I'll explain you. There is a 3D object known as head occluder inside this. So what you can do is either you can add a block to your main project, or you can just add this 3D object. You don't need that head occluder block also. So if you want to do the exact same thing that we did there, so let me show you so you could understand it here instead of going head occluder. So see, what we are going to do is we are going to drag this star inside a null pointer. So we'll create a null pointer, and then let's drag the star inside a null pointer, and then let's position it. Cool. And then you can just create a, okay, it's already created. And with this face check, you need a forehead, and then you need a add patch with vector 3. Let's make it minus 0.1 if it works. And let's add the null pointer position. Okay, now let me add the animation here. Spin, and let's spin the null object too. You can change the size and position also. So as of now, let's give 0.1. Okay, it is fine now. And then you can add more stars. Instead of doing that, you can even duplicate it and then change the position or rotation. You can even change the color of the stars. Now I have used here the 3D, like 3D stars. Instead of that, you can also use the 2D stars, and your project will look something like this. Wait, I created it. I'll share this project also so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. Okay, so I just explained this one also. Wait until it gets open. So before that, let me explain you what is there inside this project. So basically there is one canvas and one face tracker. Inside this canvas, I have created just to add the color alert effect. Apart from that, this rectangle is doing nothing. You can see how I have added the color alert. This was I was telling you that the first time I've explained this. You can use this fast color alert from the Spark Assets library, and just you can go to camera and extract the camera texture from here. You have to just click on this and the camera texture will appear on the left side of your assets. You can just drag the camera texture and it will appear here. Add it to the texture, and then this is my color alert, this one. And you have to just drag it here and then attach towards the material, so this will appear. Yeah, it came, I think. Yeah, so see how this effect is rolling. Now what happened to this rectangle? I think size. Oh, wait. If I remove this, so if I remove the this LUT effect, you could see that the effect disappeared. Wait, I have to explain you guys this thing also. Pending one. Okay, so you could see that how these stars are rolling, and these stars are basically 2D effects. So what I did is I added a face tracker, and inside the face tracker they are just a planes. So I think my video is getting lagged, so that's why I was not switching on the camera. Let me switch this one. Right, अटक जाता है. Okay, so what I did is I added a head occluder. This is head occluder I was talking about. Instead of, if you don't want to add a block, you can just add this head occluder, and inside this you can create this null objects. So I have created all these null objects here, and then inside this null object I have created a plane. Different planes for each individual stars, as you can see here. This is for one star. See, in the viewport you could see one star is rotating around my head. This is the other. And if you don't want that this should be 2D, then you can create a 3D. I'll create one more and let me show you how it will look in 3D. See, I have given the, like I went to actions and animated to spin. So it created a rotation patch, and I attached all these plane inside this transition. So if you want to create it in a 3D object, so you can do it. Just you have to first disable all this null objects. And just add a recent object and just move it to a null pointer, null object, I'm sorry. Add it. And again, you can create a procedural patch. Go and add a forehead. Add patch. Make it to vector 3. And scale this null pointer. Came to your forehead. And you can just make it slow, fast according to your need. You can change the color of the star. So yeah, like this you can keep on experiment and you will create a lot new effects with this. I'll share this file also with you all, and you can just go through it, how I have added the planes and how I added a 3D object. So what you can do, you can go with a 2D object also, and you can go with the 3D object also. Okay, so now let's learn the new topic now, and that is face deformation. So what do you guys understand by face deformation? First, let me see how many of you know what is face deformation. Guys, are you listening to me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you understand what is face deformation?
yeah, ma'am. So like there's many filters like your face converted, you like जो भी है eyes के साथ कुछ कुछ होता है
हाँ,
वही
yes, correct. Eyes large कर दी, face को some converted
डंप
into
कर
some
दिया
shapes
वो
or
सब
something. Yes, correct. So let's learn how we do all those things here. Before that, let me also explain you one more thing. Like how to convert the MP3 file to M4A. In this part, you usually needs the M4A with a little specification. I'll explain you. See, you have to go through this site. MP3 to M4A converter. I'll share the link to you all. This is the best one. So like how you can convert the audio file from MP3 to M4A, you just have to download a song from MP3 or MP4, anything, and then you can go and change the audio channels to mono, and you have to go with 44,100 hertz, and you can just trim accordingly, and then you can just download the file. So that's how you can convert the MP3 to M4A. I'll share this link in our chat so that you guys can go through it. This is the link. So yeah, let's learn the deformation, and before deformation I want to okay, let's go with first deformation, then I'll explain you animation loop. So inside the blocks, there is one more block, that is the face deformation. So this is the block that has made the work very easy for all the creators. They can just download this block and set the uh, filter according to the requirements. So what you have to do is you just have to add a face tracker and just add the face deformation. So guys, can you see the difference?
eyes are little bit bigger
Yeah, you can even scale it. See,
yeah
and you can just convert the forehead a little bit small, and then you can make the nose larger, or mouth also you can if you want. So like this you can keep on experimenting, and you would see that lots of things you can make it, like how funny filters are made here. So you just have to do this. Understood?
yeah
Okay, so this was the face deformation. The other thing I'm gonna explain you is the how to add the animation in the background, because I didn't discuss in the last class. So let's go with this one first. So the best way you can do is you just you just use this background patch, because this is the by default ऐसा बोलते हैं ना, बना बनाया माल. So it's like that. Already they have created this, and you just have to add the animation to the rectangle. So what you have to do is it's say this says that replace me. So we won't replace this one. Apart from this, what we are going to do is we will delete this one first. Oh, I clicked on replace. Let's delete this one. So this is the user rectangle and this is the background. In the background material, you go and just in the texture, you add the new animation sequence. And in the new animation sequence, you can add the texture. So for example, there is, you have already have the texture, so you can include it for, let's for now take this one. Thunder effect. So you guys know how to create this these animation sequence, or shall I tell you?
No, ma'am.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you just,
You already shared the video, so we know.
yeah, you, what you have to do is you have to just find a video, a small video, and then you have to go on Google and write video to JPG converter, or if you want to go with any other format, you can go with it, and then you'll get a sequence of images. So
Yeah.
you have to just add a sequence of images on your effect. Now see, you could see the FPS is quite large, so let's make it 10. Yeah, it's looking good now. See, like this it goes, and like this you can add the animation to it. And if you want that animation should come on the person also, then you can add to the user also. See, I'll tell you how. You just have to go it here, and in the camera texture alpha we have person segmentation, and if you add here animation sequence, you will see instead of person, you will see the, see, on the person segmentation the effect came. And then what you could do is you will go with the user material, and in the, instead of alpha, go to add one, add blend mode, and then you see. And for the background, you could make it a little, let's add the alpha and choose the texture to camera texture, or we can go with, I think it won't make any sense here right now. Okay. Yeah, so like this, you can even convert the person segmentation to it instead of going with the background one. So I hope this is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go with the other one. I have to explain you guys the picker UI. Who asked the doubt with me? I think Aditya, if I'm not wrong. Aditya, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me explain you how to add the picker UI. So I'll be opening one of my projects so that it would be easy. Or else I'll start from scratch. Let me open this one. Are you guys getting till now?
Yeah. I parallelly make the project, so which you
Oh,
can.
you are making it parallelly.
Yeah.
Nice. I think it is again taking a lot of time to open. my god, if I'll explain you with this, you both will get confused. Let me start from scratch only. Okay, let's. So basically, this picker UI is used when you see the effects which gets changed according to the user requirements. So like this, we use the picker UI instead of tap to change icon, or we can say tap to object also. So it is a very useful base to create multiple effects in just one project. And yeah, I think it is easy to understand also. I'll explain you. You just have to remember 2 3 things that goes with it. So yeah, I have created a sample project here. So since the Halloween is coming, so let's create some Halloween effects. So hi again. Before that, let me add a face tracker, and with this face tracker, let me add the face mesh. I'll be adding, you guys know how to create face effects, right? I explained you like if something on face.
Yes, ma'am. We know.
So yeah, so I'm already having the face texture that I have made it. So I'll be integrating it here only. So you guys will understand. I have 3 assets. Let's choose this one first. And let me get to right. Good. And for the other one, for now I'll be making it not visible. I'll add another face mesh, and let me add texture. Let's add this one. No, this is fine. And let me add one more face mesh. Add a material to the face mesh. Make it a shader type to flat. Add a new texture. And let's add. Which one should I add now? Add this one. And I don't want the eyes, so I'll make it, and mouth also I'll disable it. Cool. So for now I'll be disabling this also, and let me add a face smoothing. Retouch it. I'll drop it first. Okay, so let me add a rectangle. So I'll be making full width and full height, and let's make it as flat. Now I'll be going to camera, and I'll be extracting the camera texture as well as the segmentation, because I'll be showing you how you can change the background as well as face both simultaneously. So I'll be choosing a person segmentation, and inside this rectangle, I'll go to material, and in the alpha channel, I'll just check it and add a segmentation and invert it. So you can see now my background is being made it to white, and let me change the background to some okay. So let's take first this one, and you have to Don't forget to compress the images because it is very important. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time for you to send the filter to your file. Okay, so I'll be adding another rectangle. Yeah, the smart way is just make it duplicate. And even you can duplicate the material also. Wait, I'll show you. Control D in the first material, add the fifth one, and again duplicate it. And for the this one again duplicate it. Make it. So for this one, let's download 2 more Halloween background. Oh, background. And let's add this one. Save images. It's 3. Cool. Now you can go to your effect, go to materials, add the latest one that we have added. H2. This rectangle. Okay, so it came. You can adjust the size according to you. Then let's make it अभी के लिए हटा देते हैं. For this one, let's add another texture. It's 3. Okay, so अभी के लिए इसे भी हम लोग not visible कर देते हैं. Now see, if I want to add a UI picker, first of all मुझे क्या चाहिए यहाँ पे 1 2 3. I need some numbers so that people will understand that I'm making a filter where they can change it. So I already have a numbers right now. So I'll go with it. 1 2 3. You need 3 images. You can choose anything you want. For me, it will work. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to go in view and just show and hide patches. Now everything you have to work in the patches itself. So let's begin it. First of all, you have to add the speaker UI. And you have to choose all the icons and drag it to your patch editor. Once you drag it, you have to make the arrangements for it. And then you have to attach the RGBA channel to the textures and make the UIS visible. So like this, you could easily see the UIs, but see, it's not working right now because logic is not being implemented. So let's implement the logic here. So from the selected option index, you have to choose the exactly equals to. Now what this exactly equals to, it is going to check if the two numbers are exactly equal. So as I said that indexing will start from 0. I'll be needing 3 exactly equals to because we are making a filter for 3. Okay, now this is for 0, this is for first one, and this is for second one. Cool. Now what you have to do is you have to first make everything visible. Acha, we don't want it to get confused, so let's change the name to first, second, and third. Let's make it simple. And let's change these name as R1, R2, and R3. R3. Cool. Now let's make everything visible. Okay. So now what we want key for the first one, for the first filter, we want just that first face mesh and first rectangle should be visible. So what I'll do is I'll extract the visible patch from the face mesh and from the from the rectangle, and I'll attach to the patch. Similarly, I'll do with these two. Oh, sorry. Second, I'll attach with the second face mesh with the second background. Similarly, I make the third one visible and the third rectangle visible. I'll refresh my project and I think I'll work now. See, this is the first one, this is the second, and this is the third. Now you can see that the background is not changing. Let me see why it didn't work. For the background, I think we need different. 1 minute. This is material 4, this is material 5. Should work, then why it didn't work? Okay. Yeah, it's working fine. This is for first one, this is for second, and this is for third. Guys, understood how I made the use of picker UI?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you can do is you can add a horror sound here, or you can even like how I taught you about the emitter. If a ghost is opening the mouth and some stuff is coming out, so all these things you can add it and make your filter more good. Now the next thing I want you to know is ki suppose ki we know that you have to tap on the screen, but there is a completely new user who don't know how to add in instructions. So in order to add the instructions, you have to go to device and you have to choose the instruction. For example, tap to change, or if some effect is there, tap to start. So see, it will appear here, tap to change. So that's how you can add the instructions here. And as soon as your effect will load, your instruction will appear. So that's how you add the this picker UI. I think it's like clear to you guys.
Yeah.
Understood. Aditya, do you have any doubt? Because you asked me this.
No, ma'am, no doubts.
No doubt. Confirm again. Na? Okay, I'll save this one also. Okay. So the next thing that I'm gonna teach you is slide UI and the option picker. Shall I teach it now? You guys want, or you guys feel बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है?
Can you do it later? Like next session में?
Next session.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, next session.
Okay, the so slider and that one I'll teach you guys in the next session. So just one more thing I want to tell you, that how we did the face distortion one. Na, you can even use directly this patch also.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am, okay.
So you just have to click it and it will get open, and then you can add the like whatever you want. For example, for everything you want something like you have chosen the picker UI, and for the first one you are making a filter like the eyes are getting big. For second one you are making that face shape is getting changed. So you can, I think you guys understood, you just need different rectangles and then you would be easily able to make it off.
Yeah.
Or if you want a simple filter, you can just change it here. God, I don't want it to be made. Wait, let me change. Okay. So yeah, you can just change it from here only. Like this, you can just play it and you can make the filter according to your need. I think you guys understood, right?
Yeah.
Any doubts, guys?
No.
No,
Is it
no.
too difficult?
No. No. It's very simple.
It's
Quite
very
easy.
simple, quite easy. Okay, then let's meet on next session, and I'll be explaining you about the slider UI and the one more pick option picker. It's very easy. I'll start. It will hardly take 10 minutes. And I'm so sorry, guys, for getting late. And thank you so much for listening so patiently. See you in the next session.
Yeah.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye, bye.